Hey guys, Justin here, coming out with another video. This one's going to be on the troop leading procedures. I mentioned this is one of the need-to-know things for your MS2 and MS3 year, so I thought I'd go into a little bit more depth about what they are and how to practice them. In order to do this, I'm going to be using two analogies, and I'm going to be applying the troop leading procedures to planning a birthday party and planning a PT session. I did not include any tactical missions into the analogies because I will be making separate videos for each tactical mission, going through the TLPs as a checklist. Okay, without further ado, I will begin by stating the TLPs. 1 is going to be receive the mission. 2, issue a warning order. 3, make a tentative plan. 4, start necessary movement. 5, recon. 6, complete the plan. 7, issue the complete order. 8, supervise and refine. So beginning with the first analogy of a birthday party, I will start with step 1, receiving the mission. The mission is, First Squad will throw a birthday party for Cadet Smith no later than 2100 at location Echo Golf 12345678 in order to foster esprit de corps within the squad. So this is your basic type of mission format that you're going to get, and that will go for when you receive a PT session mission, when you receive a birthday party mission, when you receive an ambush mission, thus forward. You're going to see it in this format. So step 2 is going to be issuing a warning order. So this is going to be taking the important information that you just got out of that mission, out of that warno or that you just heard, and basically putting it out to your subordinate leadership. So the first thing you want to issue in a warno is going to be the 5 W's: who, what, where, when, why. So who is going to be First Squad? What? It's a birthday party. Where? Location Echo Golf 12345678. When? No later than 2100. Why? In order to foster esprit de corps. Okay? The very next thing that you want to include in your warno is going to be task and purpose. So you want to task your subordinate leadership out so that they know what they're going to be focusing on. Alpha team, you're going to be getting the birthday cake and you're going to be securing the room. Bravo team, you're going to be getting silverware, plates, drinks, and music for the party. And then the last step of the warno is going to be including an expected timeline. So this timeline is always subject to change, but you want to include key hit points or key time hacks that are going to affect the rest of the mission. So I said from 1800 to 1900, we're going to be setting up the room. From 1900 to 2000, the party will begin and we start socialization. And then from 2000 to 2030, we're going to eat cake and sing happy birthday. And from 2030 to 2100, we will be cleaning up. So by 2100, which is the no later than time, we'll be finished with the mission. That being said, when I did plan this, I planned it backwards. So I know that the last thing you have to do is clean up. So I didn't know when I had to start the party in order to get everything done that I wanted to, but starting with the cleanup, I knew that's going to take probably about roughly half an hour. And then, so that takes me to 2030. And then the last thing I want to do before cleanup is going to be eating the cake, singing happy birthday. That's going to be another half hour. So that brings me back to 2000. Then I want to have at least an hour for socialization. So that's going to bring me back another hour from 2000 to 1900. And then setting up the room and making sure the party's ready to go before everyone gets there is going to take another hour. So I allotted from 1800 to 1900. So prior to when I received this mission, no one told me that I had to start this mission at 1800. But through deduction and backwards planning, I figured out that if I want to have a successful birthday party, I need to start getting people there and setting up at 1800. Okay, moving on to step 3 is going to be making a tentative plan. This is just elaborating on your task and purpose and timeline, and also assigning specialty positions or specific positions, and also you want to personally, as a leader, begin visualizing the objective and planning the movement there. So this is not very in-depth for a birthday party, but basically you just want to have specific positions, so within your teams, you can have your team leaders assign this private's going to be getting the silverware, this private's going to be getting the plates, this private's going to be getting this and this. So make sure that you assign a name to everything and that everything is taken care of down to the lowest level. The next step would be to initiate necessary movement, otherwise known as rehearsals. So the necessary movement for this will be Alpha and Bravo team must get supplies assigned in the warno. And then the rehearsals that are associated with this are going to be, you need to practice singing happy birthday if you want it to go well. And you have to practice the setup and the cleanup to make sure that it's efficient and time effective. 5 is going to be conducting recon. So when you conduct recon, a general rule of thumb is that you want to bring at least one key leader with you to make sure that they can visualize the objective. So I have Alpha Team tasked out in the Warno as going to be the ones that are setting up the room and securing the room. So my key leader that I chose to bring with me on the recon is going to be the Alpha Team leader, because he's the one that needs to be able to see the room and knows what it looks like in order to secure it. So you want to make sure that when you pick the person that's going on the recon with you, you're picking someone that's going to benefit from the recon. I also said that you want to make sure that you're looking at the objective and thinking about the execution of the plan. So you want to look where you're going to be when the execution happens and where everyone is going to be situated. This doesn't really matter that much for a birthday party, but when you're setting up an ambush and you have your heavy machine guns in one area, your M4s in another area, and you need to know where you need to concentrate the most firing power, the positioning of every single person in your element matters. So that's why I said you need to look at the objective and actually plan out where everyone's going to be. Step 6 is going to be complete the plan. So when completing the plan, you want to finish your task and purpose, concept of operations, timeline, movement, and you're going to build a terrain model kit. So starting with the task and purpose, this was originally created in the Warno, and you're just going to keep emphasizing on this because you want to make sure that everyone understands what their specific role is in the mission. Next, the concept of operations. You're going to break down the mission into different phases. So phase 1 might be getting the supplies. Phase 2 might be movement to the room of the birthday party. Phase 3 might be actual execution of the birthday party. And then phase 4 is cleanup and withdrawal from the objective. And then movement, you want to plan how people are going to get there. So you actually have to plan the routes that they're going to take and make sure that you know where they're going to be at all times. So if something happens, like they get in a car accident, you can look at your timeline and say, this is about where they got in the car accident, this is where we need to expect them, this is going to be the closest hospital. And lastly, you're going to build a terrain model kit. So for the terrain model kit, you want to make sure that just because you saw the objective and visualized it means that you have an idea of what the objective looks like. But if everyone in your element doesn't have an idea of what the objective looks like, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that you know it, because everyone needs to know it. And I say that once again, with the general rule of thumb is that at least 2 levels down from you, or the leader of the mission, need to see the terrain model kit. So this correlates to a mission, for an ambush mission, for example. Let's say that you saw the objective, you know where everyone needs to be, so you build a visual kit to show them exactly where they're going to be. And this needs to go, if you're a platoon leader, it needs to go down to the team leader level. If you're a squad leader, it needs to go down at a minimum to each individual Joe, so that they know where they're going to be. Moving forward from that, you're going to issue the complete plan. So that's step 7, is briefing the finalized plan. Once you have the terrain model kit, once you have everything built, the concept of operations, you're going to explain that to your subordinate leadership and to hopefully down to the lowest level possible. The last step is going to be supervising and refining. So you're going to supervise the event. Make sure you take notes to see what could be done better next time. So you will have an actual action at the objective, so you'll be doing things, but a lot of it too is going to be supervising your subordinate leadership, because you did task out everything that needs to be done to your Alpha and Bravo team leaders. So theoretically, you can watch them do their job, and then the mission will still be accomplished. And the reason why you want to make sure that the people below you know is that, what if you get sick on the day of the birthday? You need to make sure that your Alpha team leader is ready to take your place and lead the birthday party. Or if your Alpha team leader gets sick and can't get the cake, you need to make sure that the people in his team also understand the plan. That's why you brief it at least 2 levels down and make sure that everyone understands what's going on. Alright, so that was a very basic analogy of planning a birthday party, and a lot of it may seem a little bit extreme just for planning a birthday party, but as the events get more complex that you're planning, the troop leading procedures become more and more important. So next, we're going to go into planning a PT session. Step 1 is going to be receiving and analyzing the mission once again. So the mission will be, Alpha Company will conduct a PT session at objective Echo Golf 12345678 between 0600 and 0700 hours in order to improve physical readiness. Okay, so this is a little bit more intense than a birthday party, but it's the same principles. For step 2, you're going to issue a Warno, starting with the 5 W's. 5 W's, once again, are who, what, where, when, why. So who is going to be Alpha Company? What is going to be PT session? Where? Echo Golf 12345678. When? 0600 to 0700. Why? To improve physical readiness. Task and purpose is going to be you're tasking people out for an ability group run as you decided what you want to do for your PT session. So your Alpha leader is going to be Smith, Bravo leader, Jones, Charlie leader, Johnson. So these are your subordinate leadership that you're actually going to be relying on to lead the ability group run, because you're breaking up into 3 different ability groups: Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. And then finally, for the timeline, I once again back planned, but I'm not going to go through the whole back planning process this time. I'm just going to read you what timeline I have written down. 0545 arrival, 0545 to 0600 accountability, 0600 to 0610 PRT warm-up exercises, 0610 to 0615 warm-up lap around track, 0615 to 0620 break up into ability groups, 0620 to 0650 ability group run, 0650 to 0655 reconsolidate and do recovery drills, 0655 to 0700 AAR and release. So through this timeline, I detailed out exactly what I plan on doing and the timeline that I plan on doing it at. This doesn't mean that it's a complete plan, but as soon as I get the mission, I want to send this out to my subordinate leadership so they understand what exactly they're going to be doing at each of these times. So next, make a tentative plan. So my tentative plan for the PT session is Alpha will run 4 miles at a 7:15 to 7:30 pace. Bravo will run 3.5 miles at an 8:15 to 8:30 pace. Charlie will run 3 miles at a 9:15 to 9:30 pace. So that's the plan for the actual execution of the ability group run itself. However, we already have the timeline built of everything else around it. Another thing to note, that with every plan, you should try to have some sort of contingency plan. So if the track, if it's cold out, for example, and the track is covered in ice, you can't run on it. So your contingency plan might be to run inside or go to the gym, do a shuttle sprint workout. 4, initiate necessary movement. So for necessary movement for this, there isn't much you have to do prior to the event as far as getting people moving ahead of time, but rehearsals are still one of the most important parts of the PRTs, of the TLPs. And why I say rehearsals are important, because the first thing you need to rehearse is you need to practice leading the PRTs in front of a formation, because in case you haven't done it before. Next thing you want to do is you want to do the workout yourself to make sure it fits within the time allotted. Third thing you want to do is practice doing the recovery drills. So you have to practice and rehearse all 3 things to make sure that the workout itself works within the timeline, but also that it's not too hard. Because if the workout is too hard for you, then it might be too hard for other people within the company as well. Next thing I have is conduct recon, which is step 5. So prior to the PT session, you want to make sure that the facility is available and usable. So a lot of people neglect to do recon, and what happens is, at least for PT sessions that I've been to, is that they didn't realize that other sports teams might be there ahead of time or have already reserved the facility. So we get there, and then all of a sudden we don't have room to actually work out because there's someone else there. So that falls under recon of the TLPs. Next is complete the plan. So based on the recon, assess if you need to do the contingency plan or make any changes to your original plan. And then finally, you want to brief the complete plan. So your ability group leaders should already have a general understanding of the plan and the timeline, but you want to brief them a complete plan, if anything changed, directly to the ability group leaders, and then also you want to brief the general company as well. And finally, supervise and refine. So you want to make sure the workout goes as planned, and you have to do your actions as leading the PRTs and leading the recovery drills, but you also want to supervise and make sure that the ability group leaders are doing well in leading their part of the workout. So you should rely and trust that your subordinate leadership can complete the workout, but you want to still be there to supervise and change anything to make sure it meets the commander's intent. As I said before, the third analogy would be to do an ambush mission, an attack mission, movement to contact, and I'll go through the troop leading procedures again with that, but I actually want to make separate videos because I don't think that the troop leading procedures alone go into enough depth to actually properly lead a mission. So it's a little bit of a mix of the troop leading procedures and the process of creating an outboard that I think go together in order to do the perfect mission. So that will conclude my brief explanation or basic understanding of the troop leading procedures. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you have any questions or would like to see more in the future. That's all I have for you. Thanks.